My dad's the most charming man in the world. He is also a Gemini. He thought that I could go to Harvard, be an astronaut, be the president of the world. He thought I could be anything I wanted to be. And I did. I became a comedian.
My dad loves karaoke so much that he hired a classically trained vocalist so that he could get better at karaoke. My dad loves karaoke so much that he hired a classically trained vocalist so that I could get better at karaoke. My dad loves karaoke so much that when I got better at karaoke than him, he resented it. I remember getting a call from my mom, and she was like, Alia, your dad is in the hospital. She was like, Mom, why are you crying? What happened? She said, what your dad was at the karaoke bar. Singing two of the Saints threes.
And you know the hard part? The highest note? Well, he tried to hit it.
And fell.
So they took him in an ambulance to the hospital. Apparently, he'd had a heart attack. And I was like, Mom.
Did he hit the note, though?
The doctors checked him out, and the prognosis was he'd sung his heart out. Dark, right? This is the first joke I ever wrote that actually felt personal to me. I mean, it's my dad's heart attack, but he's my dad. And I was really nervous to share it with him.
I love it. Do more jokes, Aliyah. You're great at it. Come on. I have materials for you. I have a long list of, incidents like that.
Guess how many there were? Take a guess. There were...
What up? What
Hey, Pops.
What's with the face?
I'm trying to be beautiful like you.
Really?
What stories you got for me?
What age? Any age?
I want to know, what it was like to run around Holo, when you were 8.
Holo was paradise for me. I love to play with my friends.
You're like little
Yeah?
neighborhood gang.
We called ourselves the lunkheads.
Why do you call yourselves the lunkheads?
I don't know who coined that word. I'm not sure. One day, I came home very late. And your grandfather is very strict, and he would use his belt or tie us up in a tree or something. So instead of using the door of the house, I figured that I should just climb the wall.
How? What? I mean,
But the wall, it had spears.
almost like a fortress.
Yeah. So I climbed over and I slipped.
Oh, no.
And one of the spears almost went through my heart. Blood was all over. I cleaned the traces. Yeah.
This is great. Not my dad getting stabbed at 8 years old, but this story is even wilder than the karaoke one.
What you doing?
It's breakfast. Just some peanut butter on toast.
You call that breakfast?
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm just gonna move. What do you got, Pops?
This has to do with my visit to New York City. New York. Who doesn't love New York anyway, right? We checked in at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Imelda Marcos, our former First Lady, always stayed in Waldorf. And I had a room for myself. There was a big bathtub. Wow, I said to myself,
Fancy.
why don't I experience what Imelda Marcos experienced. I'll try the bathtub. So I got all this bubble bath. It was bubbling. So I did and stayed for like 40 minutes, enjoying myself.
So, my dad's in a tub getting his self-care on before self-care was even a thing. And then he gets up.
And I saw the ceiling of the bathroom crash into the bathtub.
Literally just the spot where you were. That's where the ceiling fell.
Yeah, I guess, you know what they did? They gave me a box of chocolates.
That's it?
What are the chances? Should have happened to Imelda Marcos, not me. And there are others. As I passed by, this guy was starting to make like martial arts moves, like a Bruce Lee move, like almost hit me. Like it's good I was able to avoid, and I could see the windshield broken glass like flying like slow motion.
Like in the movie.
We were the Love Bus incident where I almost got stabbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you were lost at sea?
And we ran out of food. I jumped and shouted, Geronimo!
Oh, that's good. I can use that.
Your grandma almost had a miscarriage. The car accident.
I had a very
Yeah, that I
low
remember.
heartbeat. We had the fraternity rumble.
Fraternity rumble.
I almost stepped on a landmine.
What? Why? What was
It
happening?
was during the Holo siege. Muslim rebels, they were called the Moro National Liberation Front, wanted independence from the Philippines.
Okay.
This was during martial law. The Muslim rebel entered the town of Holo and took over the town. When the military decided to retake the town, it was like a war movie. The whole country did not know what was happening. It was a news blackout. The gunfighting was so close to us, bullets go whizzing by. I remember going to the top floor. There were so many bullet holes on the roof. I could see the sky. One of the bullets landed in front of my feet, like 10 inches away. It was still turning like a top.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 16. Government troops were questioning young men, those they found suspicious of being a rebel. They were lined up and killed. The next day, one of them stopped us and pointed his gun at me.
At you? Like in your face?
Yes, at me. He was shouting, "You must be a rebel." But my cousin, who was, curvy, sexy, she was able to convince that soldier to let us go. On the third day, the mayor of the town said, "You should leave this house by 4 o'clock p.m. because they will start bombing." We left everything. At 4 p.m., napalm bombs were used. We saw the biggest fire I'd ever seen. It burned the whole town to the ground, and thousands of people died. We lost everything. That was the year we left Holo.
Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. How come you never
Yeah.
talked about it?
I don't know. Maybe I tried to block it. Like, it was a terrible experience. After that, it's all like, it was never restored.
What was the breaking point in hearing any of those stories?
When we started this project, I literally thought it would just be a fun thing for me and my dad. That it would help me write comedy. Comedy. That I could like look at his life and he's like, ha ha ha. Like look at what you survived, ha ha. Look at what he survived and it's not funny. It's not funny.
Prominent businessmen became paupers overnight. I believe that what happened in Jolo has not happened anywhere else in the country, and the lack of concern and the callousness of the government to the safety and needs of the people were unbelievable. The tragedy that struck Jolo destroyed the moral fabric as well as the economy of the province, aided and abetted by the government. Again, there's no way of knowing how many were killed intentionally and by whom. Really convenient there was a media blackout. Hello, Padre. The information's all over the place. Like, for example, some people say 20,000 people killed, and then some people say, like, the military says 200 to 300.
Thousands died. Because I was there, I witnessed everything. I am an eyewitness.
Why did...
That's my family.
I'm trying to get information on whether or not, napalm was used in that battle.
We are not familiar to the history of Jolo during that year.
But you're the government.
Yes.
You're-
We are not familiar to what is happened in 1974.
Since my dad told me this story, I've been really struggling with how little info there is.
This was under the Marcos government, and a lot of information was considered classified.
This wasn't in history books.
Very few people know about it, except the ones who were directly affected, like your dad and my parents, the ones who were actually there, living there.
My dad mentioned the town was burning.
The military said it was the rebels who did it, but the rebels said it was the military who did it. But what was documented in the papers was that napalm bomb was used. The military was burning it.
There was a U.S. Embassy report that napalm bomb was used.
I don't know what to make of this. The government does something, they lie about it, the truth comes out, and nothing happens anyway. And then we just forget. Kind of like Men in Black. And this is it. A whole town gone. And this is it. A few New York Times articles, tables. And they all say conflicting things. I printed more stuff when I was researching Eminem for a grade 7 project. This is literally like this is it. That's how little history matters and what happened before.
They tried to forget it. They tried to ignore.
just made me feel really pissed off.
Why?
Because it happened to you. You're my dad. It's like, it's not that, it's like, for me, from what I see, it's like no one cares about, and you're right, like no one's rebuilt this small town.
That's true.
And for me, if I'm being honest, I feel kind of guilty. I feel guilty towards you, and like,
Why?
cause
No, you shouldn't.
I was just going to. I was like, haha, these are 15 ways my dad almost died. Let's make.
But I had a great life, but just because those things happened to me doesn't mean that I did not have a great childhood, which I did. Maybe it helped me to become stronger person. Nerves of steel, remember?
Yeah. I feel like now that I know, like I have to do something, but I don't really know how. Yeah, I just want to fight back.
You can do it in your own way, Ate. Come on.
Whatever that means.
You can partner with Tina Fey
No, it's...
and join SNL, baby.
Okay, I'll
How
do
about-
that. Hey, Tina Fey. Sure, I'll give her a call.
Please do.
Yeah, no problem.
We all fight in the way that we can. My dad survived, and he lived the rest of his life in a big way. And me, I will live to tell his story in the way that I know how.
Got this.
Cool. Yeah. All right, man. I'm very happy, very excited to bring everybody here tonight. Guys, give her lots of love. She's mad jokes. Guys, give it up for Alia Razul.
Genocide, am I right?
This was a massacre, so I censored it 'cause it's tough to look at. Next image. This one was a bad just behind a paywall. So if it's cool with you, I'd love to tell a story about my dad.
Who here is an Asian dad? Come on, okay.
Well, this was a journey.
Yes, it was.
You're not allowed to almost die anymore.
But it's my thing.
No, Pod.
I am not the one. I am not the enemy. I come from Babylon. I am sacred synergy, warrior son. Manakikubat energy. Makuna was child. Lakapati's legacy. Travel other lifetimes. Close your eyes, see a room of lost things. Timelines eclipsing. Body made of bamboo. Huminga sa aking kaluluwa. Can you sing through? Scent of sampagita. Pull the future up from these.